When it comes to the housing market, we talk a lot about home prices. We talk about supply and demand. We talk a little bit less about the relationship between buyers and sellers and their agents. But finding the right person for your sale is probably something that at the end of the day matters to a lot of people when they sort of think back to the process of selling their home. And our next guest is focusing on trying to connect more agents with motivated sellers and sellers with the right agent for their property based on data as opposed to something like word of mouth. Patrick Armstrong is the co-founder and CEO of Hyyve, which is a listing bid platform. Patrick, thanks for being with us. In a nutshell, how would you describe how this platform works?
Well, thanks for having me on today. When we looked at the residential real estate value chain, everything starts with this listing. And, you can't sell your home without a listing. Agents cannot earn commissions without a listing, and you can't get the listing on the MLS, onto the MLS without a listing. So for us, the listing really has value. And if we looked at how agents acquire listings, they do so through traditional advertising methods, park bench leads, cold calling, and what have you. And that traditionally delivers soft leads, cold leads, but more importantly, a really low ROI and a really low conversion. So we wanted to reimagine sort of how does this process start? So how does the real estate process start and reimagine it? And we built this platform called Hyyve. And so what it does is we allow home sellers to post their listings. We'll call it a pre-listing because we don't want to be confused with the MLS. We're ahead of the MLS. We don't compete with the MLS. But a home seller would post their pre-listing and they would put it on the platform and solicit bids from agents. And so agents then come into the platform, and there's two components to this bid. There's an upfront payment. So how much are they willing to give the homeowner in cash upfront? And more importantly, there's a comprehensive sales plan. So how does the agent plan on selling your home? And because they're in competition, they're going to really showcase their value here. And then they're really going to put their best foot forward, bring their A game to the table. And we take all of those bids and we display it to the home seller in a dashboard where they can really look at these bids and make performance and data-driven decisions instead of what traditionally has happened through referrals. Just because your sister sold a home with an agent 5 years ago doesn't mean that that referral is the best agent or the best agent for you. And so in our platform, because all the agents are competing, they're really going to put their A game forward and give you the best proposals they can, right, which then maximizes your chances of selling your home at the highest price. So and not to mention they're vested in your sale because they've given you some cash up front.
Right. So yeah, it's obviously whether it's like a family friend or sort of that word of mouth, or maybe there's a particular agent that is known in your neighborhood, seems to be a way that a lot of times the agent-seller relationship comes together. So should I assume then that you guys are finding ways to pair people who geographically might be very far away in the country, like the agent and the seller, like the location of the home might be in terms of where the actual agent operates from. They aren't necessarily close. What they are closer on is sort of just on the financial reality of what they're looking to achieve in the sale.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's our goal. I mean, it's not for agents to go get sales that are really far from them. It's more from the seller's perspective of who's the best agent, right? So you talk about referrals, right? So a referral in any sales business, a referral is typically found business. So when a salesperson gets a referral, they don't necessarily come to the table with all the perks and value and their best foot forward that they would in a competitive environment. So what we're saying is, listen, you can get a referral. And then you can use our platform to benchmark that referral against top agents that want to represent you. So it's not necessarily that the agents are not local or they are. It's more that they're top agents that want to represent you. So that localization is not really a differentiator for us. It's really agents competing, bringing their A game to the table. And through the nature of competition, you do get better offers and you do end up with a better overall package and more value to you as the seller.
And so how many people are using the platform, and what are some of the takeaways from the process on the platform in terms of that overall goal that you have? In other words, people finding a way to get an outcome that is more favorable for them.
Yeah, so we launched with a 500 invite only. So we limited our market. So we had a bunch of wait lists, but we wanted to sort of condense that down to 500. So we launched with 500. The early results are what we thought. Competition drives better performance. So because agents are now looking and seeing that they are not a referred agent and that they have to earn this business, they're putting, creativity at the forefront. They're putting more effort into the listing, and all that translates into more value for the home seller, which we intend on helping the home seller get the best chance to maximize the final sale price of their home. Given that housing's expensive and wages don't keep up with real estate, and money's tight for a lot of people, that they really need to sell the home at the best they can. And to do that, you really need the best agent to do that, and not necessarily a